Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to NXT, and as you can tell right there, there is the NXT General Manager, Adam Pierce, kicking off NXT tonight. And you can see something out with that Raw background, maybe trying to turn some heads with the good old-fashioned War Games that's coming up, where it's supposed to be Raw versus SmackDown. NXT is included this year, but to a different extent. You'll see with Drew McIntyre's team against Triple H's team. So not a full-on Raw NXT SmackDown, but Adam Pierce is here tonight to address some stuff going on in the main roster here. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to NXT tonight. We have a lot of big-time matches still on the road to NXT Roadblock, which is just days away. I'm very excited, but there is some new stuff that we have to change to NXT's roster to get us from tonight to NXT Roadblock in just a couple days. Firstly, we have saw the news about the NXT Tag Team Champions Gallus. They had a situation going on and were released, and they relinquished the NXT Tag Team Championships, and now we got to figure out who are going to be the NXT Tag Team Champions. Now, I'm not going to take away the Hardy Boyz already essentially earned opportunity, so they will be challenging for the NXT Tag Team Championships. We got to figure out the other side of it. So tonight, in the main event, we are going to see a triple threat tornado tag team matchup between the teams of Fraxiom, the D'Angelo family, and A-Town Down Under, with the winning team joining the Hardy Boyz to have a NXT Tag Team Championship match at NXT Roadblock. As well as now, the NXT Women's Tag Team Championships have been vacated, as Cora Jade has been let go due to some personal stuff behind the scenes. So we've let go of Cora Jade. Roxanne is not going to have the Tag Team Championships anymore, but I have given her a NXT Championship title match anytime, any place, anywhere of her choosing. I believe that's only fair, especially with she didn't cause it was her tag team partner. So Roxanne, you do get an NXT Women's Championship opportunity. You just got to know the time and place. But we got to figure out what to do with the NXT Women's Tag Team Championships, and this is what we're going to do. At NXT Roadblock, it will be an open challenge for those tag team championships. So any tag team here in NXT, step up to the plate. All you have to do is come down to the middle of that ring at NXT Roadblock, and you will be a part of that matchup. So one team I can officially tell you that will be a part of that open challenge will be Fatal Attraction. That's Jacy Jayne and her tag team partner. And her tag team partner, Fallon Henley. So Fatal Attractions, Fallon Henley, and Jacy Jayne will be a part of that open challenge, but from there, we do not have any other tag teams at this very minute penciled in, so it is an open challenge to crown the NXT Women's Tag Team Championships. Now, we're going to get to more intriguing stuff, and that is going to be Drew McIntyre challenging Triple H's team. And if Drew McIntyre beats Triple H's team, Drew McIntyre goes back to the main roster. And a lot of people are asking, hey, what if at NXT Roadblock Drew McIntyre walks out with the NXT Championship? And all I gotta say is, more power to McIntyre. Whatever he has to force the hand of management and Triple H, more power to him. Drew, my only advice is, for Triple H, he's a cerebral assassin. You might think you might be a step ahead of him, but he ends up being 3 to 5 steps ahead of you. So pick your team wisely, and good luck to your team there at Survivor Series. Can't wait to watch you represent NXT. But ladies and gentlemen, let's get on NXT underway right here, right now. And here comes the first matchup tonight, here live on NXT, as it will be Ethan Page teaming up with Santos Escobar to take on the team of Rey Mysterio and Drew McIntyre. And coming up this weekend, it will be Ethan Page defending his NXT Championship against Drew McIntyre and the King of Strong Style, Shinsuke Nakamura, in a triple threat match. It's going to be the biggest match for Ethan Page in his career coming up so far. And I mean, he has matches with Nakamura, he's had matches with McIntyre, he's had tag team matches with both, or if not just one. And now you're having McIntyre and Rey Mysterio in this matchup. Ethan Page is definitely getting himself some experience tonight here in NXT for sure. And certainly a lot of things going down at NXT Roadblock. And certainly you hate to see people let go, releases back behind the scenes type of situations. But, you know, you really have to do your best to, I guess the right word would be to move on towards keep moving forward and not moving backwards in these situations. As here comes Santos Escobar, the man that won that NXT Gold Rush tournament. They're live at NXT Gold Rush, and he'll get himself a NXT Championship opportunity anywhere he pleases. So if he, wanted it at, let's say he decides he would want it at further down the line or on another episode of NXT. It really depends on that, but I think Escobar is in the phase right now trying to obviously deal with the other LWO members, so it might take some time, or maybe if he finds some downtime between fighting the LWO, maybe, just maybe, Escobar will maybe there was opportunity in that basket to have his opportunity. But for Escobar, he's calm, cool, and calculated with how he's going to use this opportunity. So something to definitely keep your eyes on. And especially with Ethan Page as his partner, he can really see firsthand how Ethan Page operates. And if Ethan Page walks out NXT champion somehow at NXT Roadblock, certainly you could say, hey, this man, kind of the pros and cons, his weaknesses, his strengths. So we'll see how that goes. But there is Rey Mysterio, the WWE Hall of Famer. He's in the house. And coming up this weekend live at NXT Roadblock, it will be Rey Mysterio and a couple other members of the LWOs, Hakeem Wilde and Cruz del Toro, joining Rey Mysterio to take on Legado del Fantasma, that being Santos Escobar and Los Garza, Birdo and Angel. This will be a 6-man elimination tag team matchup, big time matchup for both the LWO and Legado del Fantasma. As now we wait for the other member of this matchup, Drew McIntyre, the Scottish Warrior. He's in the house. And he says, hey, NXT, I like being in NXT to an extent, but Drew McIntyre doesn't need to be here in NXT. And we kind of heard that when McIntyre and Triple H went at it on Monday Night Raw, verbally, back and forth. Triple H said, hey, a lot of things grow in the future, blah, blah, blah. And McIntyre says, hey, I'm the current. And no offense to NXT or whatever, but McIntyre doesn't belong there. And Triple H says, hey, you put yourself in that position, kid. It's not my fault you lost that steel cage tag team match at King of the Ring. But with a win coming up live there at Survivor Series, which is a month away, so still plenty of time. If McIntyre's team wins, McIntyre goes right back to the main roster. But with a loss, McIntyre still will stay down here in NXT. And what Adam Pierce said, it's true. Hey, you got to pick and choose your team very, very strategically. And the matchup is officially started. Ethan Page and Rey Mysterio. As Mysterio kicking off with that big neck breaker there. But, it's going to be a big match coming our way for both sides at NXT Roadblock. A lot of big time matches. We got to adjust on the fly. You hate to see matches being changed or affected due to releases being let go, or just stuff behind the scenes, ladies and gentlemen. And, it's nice to see Adam Pierce adjusting on the fly, giving other people an opportunity. And, sometimes, people don't renew contracts. Sometimes they don't want to sign back. So it just really depends on the situation as Mysterio walking those ropes and takes down the NXT champion, Ethan Page. Big kicks there, working that left leg, that left knee. And now big time Bulldog taking down Mr. Ethan Page. And now the Scottish Warrior gets an opportunity at Ethan Page here. So McIntyre going to toss him into the corner, going to look to go to work on all ego here. As into the corner we go. Ooh, big knee right to the ribs. Page thought he was going to try to run right through him, but obviously McIntyre saw that coming and had it well scouted. And McIntyre off the ropes into a flying headbutt. McIntyre and Mysterio working quite well together. As you see Ethan Page doing the veteran thing, rolling out of the situation, but also the bad thing, rolling back in, and McIntyre continuing the momentum that he has. As this matchup continues, ladies and gentlemen, we still have a couple more tag team matches for you tonight. As coming up tonight, you're going to see the team of Trick Williams and Javion Evans taking on Femi and Omos. Javion Evans able to find a tag team partner tonight. Certainly going to need all the backup he needs, as Javion Evans has defeated Femi in a non-title matchup, but the week after that, we would see Omos beat Javion Evans in the middle of the ring, and he did not back down from Javion Evans beating him to a bloody pulp. And certainly Evans wanting to get some backup. Trick Williams, I would say a big name here in NXT for sure, making a name for himself here, as Escobar going to go for the pinfall, has the feet on the ropes, but luckily Mysterio able to kick out of that situation, and Mysterio going to make him pay. And now look at that DDT, spiking him on his face there. But, certainly Trick Williams making a name for himself here in NXT. Really looking forward to seeing how that works out for those two. But coming up there, we're going to see Femi defending his NXT North American Championship against Javion Evans at NXT Roadblock. We'll see if Evans can knock off Femi. Big time title defense for Femi. As Escobar now going to look to get a tag. Here we go, big tag. Here comes Ethan Page. And now Ethan Page with a cradle. Cradle here. Is this enough? No. Trying to steal one out of nowhere. And hey, sometimes you got to try and steal what you can. And also tonight in the main event, like Adam Pierce has mentioned, you're going to have the team of Fraxiom versus the D'Angelo family versus A-Town Down Under in a triple threat tornado tag team match where the winner will join the Hardy Boyz to face off for the NXT Tag Team Championships. And it was very nice of Adam Pierce keeping the opportunity for the Hardy Boyz, especially since they already earned that opportunity. Let's look at this from McIntyre, able to adjust the crossbody that he had, turning it into a suplex and able to do what he just did. That's absolutely impressive. And for McIntyre's career, he's ever since that King of the Ring moment, it's just sparked his career. As now McIntyre going to go for the pinfall. Will this be enough? No, strong kick out. But the one thing McIntyre has just not been able to figure out is the chairman of WWE, the new WWE chairman, who's obviously he's been the chairman ever since Vince stepped down a couple years back. But certainly Triple H has done quite well, but trying to do it to his own power, trying to have D-Generation X take over WWE. Didn't really work out in his favor too much. Drew McIntyre ends up disbanding D-Generation X. Says, wait, hold on a minute. Future Shock DDT out of nowhere. Takes down Santos Escobar. But now it's time for a little bit of Claymore country here in NXT. Claymore! And Escobar busted wide open. Pinfall. Ooh, but not even a one count. Page right there to break it up. but certainly McIntyre, he ends up beating all 3 members of D-Generation X at that time, Big E, Shinsuke Nakamura, Braun Breaker, all in one night to disband them, but Triple H did not take that too kindly, leading to a matchup between McIntyre and Triple H. Triple H would go on to defeat Drew McIntyre. And then we did also see a tag team match where obviously we saw at King of the Ring the results of that, where McIntyre would end up finding a tag team partner, and it being the WWE's most dangerous superstar, that being Ken Shamrock. McIntyre was one of the first guys out of the cage, but certainly as a Mexican destroyer right there to Drew McIntyre pinfall. Will this be a big win for Santos? 2. Oh, so close. Escobar almost picking up a massive win in this tag team matchup. But like we said, Ken Shamrock ended up getting 2-on-1 in the steel cage, and ultimately McIntyre's team would lose, leading to McIntyre, part of that end of the WWE draft, being essentially not drafted whatsoever. He was going to be going to NXT no matter what, and he's doing everything in his power to try to get himself back to the main roster. Question is, what roster would he join? But we'll talk about it further on down the road as we connect. Oh no, the 619 is blocked by Santos Escobar. Escobar knows Rey Mysterio quite well, able to block it. Escobar has been a totally different superstar ever since leaving the LWO. Escobar believes it's his time. His moment is a big boot to the skull of Rey Mysterio from Ethan Page. It's been a hellacious tag team matchup to kick us off here in NXT. We heard from Adam Pierce first, and now we have this lovely matchup here tonight, here on NXT. And certainly a lot to really go through for NXT Roadblock. Another matchup I'm really looking forward to is the NXT Women's North American Championship matchup. New Women's NXT North American Champion Nikita Lyons, who was Miss Money in the Bank, cashed it in on Thea Hale. And even before she actually cashed it in, she attacked Thea Hale backstage and brought her out here into the middle of the ring and beat her. We have not seen Thea Hale since then. So hopefully Thea Hale is just fine. We're going to see that matchup live there at NXT Roadblock, but certainly Thea Hale is going to want some revenge, and do you blame her? But can she use that anger to her advantage to become the first ever women's 2-time NXT North American Champion? Another women's matchup I'm really looking forward to is a belly-to-belly over-the-head suplex there from Mysterio is the NXT Women's Championship matchup. Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill. That has gotten very personal with the attacks, with the promos back and forth. You could definitely tell there is something going on. There's a big Claymore kick. Escobar taunting as soon as he got in the ring, and he ate a second Claymore, and that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Just like that, you cannot take your eyes off the ball, because right there McIntyre takes down Escobar, and just like that, Rey Mysterio and Drew McIntyre pick up the tag team win. Could that be a sign of things to come? Could McIntyre become the NXT champion this lovely weekend, defeating Ethan Page and Nakamura? Possibility there. Rey Mysterio, part of that 6-man tag team match against Santos Escobar team of obviously Santos Escobar, Angel Humberto, and Rey Mysterio having Hakeem Wilde and Mr. Cruz del Toro, pardon me. So, big time match here. It's going to be a 6-man elimination tag match coming your way live there at NXT Roadblock. So, a lot of massive things coming out of this matchup. A lot of back and forth there. That Mexican destroyer very close to putting away Drew McIntyre. But nope. McIntyre still fighting. There's the tag. McIntyre's fired up. Escobar thinks he can try to fire up himself. McIntyre's like, nope. Welcome to Claymore country again, and bam. Connecting with that second Claymore kick to the face. And a hard-fought win tonight from Drew McIntyre and Rey Mysterio, ladies and gentlemen. Big time win from both men tonight, and we'll see if they can do the exact same thing at NXT Roadblock. As now Trick Williams, Javion Evans making their way down to the ring. And oh wait, here we go. The two big monsters. The Nigerian giant Omos and the Nigerian ruler Oba Femi coming out, bringing the fight to Javion Evans and Trick Williams, ladies and gentlemen. They are not looking to make this a fair fight. They are looking to decimate Trick Williams, decimate Javion Evans. They've already done it to Evans. Trick Williams trying to step up for his good friend Javion Evans, not going to allow them to step over and all over Javion Evans. But maybe Trick Williams may rue the day that he decides to try and help out Javion Evans. Is almost trying to do a two-man game there with Trick Williams and Javion Evans, and certainly they're big guys, so certainly wouldn't be surprised as look at Evans. Evans like, okay, hey, I didn't really mean that strike. And it's Omos now. Oh no. Ooh, right in front of Trick Williams. And for Omos beating Javion Evans that other week there recently here in NXT, that was quite impressive, as out of nowhere Hurricane Rana takes down the North American champion. And now we're getting a little taste, ladies and gentlemen, of what's coming our way live there at NXT Roadblock. As Evans going to work on that right shoulder, trying to take it out of socket, trying to make sure that Mr. Obafemi won't be 100% here. Let's look at that, working that right knee. That's a good strategy for Evans coming right out the gate. And I wonder for Evans if he, I don't know if he is, I wouldn't say afraid, but when he's dealing with Omos, I wonder if that's a whole different ball game compared to Obafemi. If he fears maybe Omos more than Obafemi, I don't know. It's a big pump up Hurricane Rana. Nice reversal, I believe that's a reversal. Taking him down as now here comes Trick Williams looking to whoop that trick here tonight against Obafemi. Ooh, big punch right to the midsection. Here comes Oba. And now looking to go to work, Obafemi. No, Trick Williams. Roll through with the roll up cradle here. Now Obafemi looking to steal one. No, Trick Williams now. One. Or maybe not even a one. As Trick Williams trying to make sure that Obafemi will not get the tag. Trick Williams being a former WWE Tag Team Champion, being drafted here to NXT, getting back to just being himself. Obviously he came in this business with Carmelo Hayes, a good friend of his. Carmelo Hayes being drafted separately, so Carmelo's on SmackDown, Trick Williams here on NXT, and I think it really gives that opportunity for Trick Williams to have that breakout moment. I'm really looking forward to seeing how Trick Williams can fare along the way here. Especially a lot of people are trying to fight to be that top guy, that top monster, that top whatever you want to call it. Be the top guy here in NXT as a backdrop. Javion Evans wants to be that guy. Trick Williams wants to be the guy. Omos, Obafemi. Obviously, so many other people. Shinsuke Nakamura, Tony D'Angelo. So many other guys that I'm not naming at this moment want to run NXT. And there's only so many spots as Obafemi with a terrific reversal. And now he's going to make him pay. Look at that. Obafemi with a great reversal, though, catching him and landing him right there. And look at these clubbing blows from Obafemi. Obviously, he's not too happy with what happened with him losing to Javion Evans. As here we go with the tag. Here comes the Nigerian giant, Omos. Big reversal into that spinning heel kick right to the ribs. Takes down Omos all the way to the mat. Going for that forearm strike again, and you would think Evans would realize not to do that. Omos going to now try to make him pay here, but look at Evans. He's like, nope, I've been here before. Not trying to deal with that. As that was an innovative maneuver, but it probably would help if you actually hit your competitor there. As Irish whips him right into the referee. Big punch there, and now Evans doing probably not the best thing to do is to get into a striking battle with the Nigerian giant Omos. Ooh, and a big uppercut takes down Javion Evans. But like I was trying to say before, the matchup ended up getting finished in the previous matchup. We're trying to talk about that Tiffany Stratton and Jada Parker matchup. Like we were saying, I'm really looking forward to that matchup. It's gotten very personal with attacks to promos back and forth. You know, just an amazing match coming our way, I think, and it'll be a big test for certainly Jada Parker and Tiffany Stratton to really see what the future is going to be looking like here for years to come here in NXT. As oh, look at Omos, has his eyes right on the eyes, oh, raking it, and I don't know if the referee from that angle could see what was really going on. And oh, now we're seeing a vice grip, something like what you would see from the Great Khali years ago when he was in WWE. Javion Evans just on instinct trying to get himself back in this matchup. Big clothesline. Oh, didn't get all of it to take down Omos. And Trick Williams, instead of trying to continue it, Omos is back on the attack. Look at that. A palm chokeslam. Palming the face of Trick Williams into a, I guess you could call that a chokeslam. Whatever you'd like to really call it, impressive as it is. As now Trick Williams back up to his feet with that reversal. But again, Omos and Trick Williams going back and forth. Still not enough damage to really try to do anything to Omos. So Omos trying to build up some momentum, and down goes Williams in the corner. Coming up next, ladies and gentlemen, your big time main event, a triple threat tornado tag team matchup to see who will join the Hardy Boyz for the NXT Tag Team Championships. As now here comes the young OG, Javion Evans, looking to get something going for his team. But Omos, a one-man wrecking ball so far. And it sure seems no matter who Javion Evans has, it is not working out so far. And that's not a detriment to Trick Williams. It is just when you're facing off with a giant like Omos, it is certainly it's been a whole different ball game, you can definitely say. There's a big old headbutt, takes down Evans, and now Omos gonna give a tag to the NXT North American Champion. Even though Femi is champion, certainly he's gonna want to kind of change things around. Obviously losing to Javion Evans, it was a non-title matchup, but still you would rather have a stronger showing, certainly. As oh, look at Evans, oh, beautiful moonsault from the top rope there. Probably not the corner I would have went in, obviously, with Omos being in the corner, but it certainly worked out in his favor. As now here comes a tag. Uh-oh. What is going to go on here? Evans, Hurricane Rana into a power bomb there to Trick Williams. What a maneuver there. And now Femi with a big reversal. I don't know what Trick Williams was thinking, but he gets hit with a pump-up power bomb. Referee is right there, and Evans saves the matchup. Back and forth we go. And look at Femi. He wanted to just decimate his opponent for NXT Roadblock, Javion Evans there, but luckily for Evans, he got out of the disaster zone there. As look at that F10 from Femi. Absolute brutality at its finest. But now Omos and Trick Williams going to go at it here. Looks like it stunned him briefly. And now here we go. Off the ropes, Femi. Oh, goodness. Tossing him up in the air. You might not think that is a lot of damage, but certainly landing on your ribs, landing on your chest, your whole body right there, certainly it's going to take a lot out of you. It's that sudden impact off the mat is not going to be feeling too good. As now Femi going to go high risk here. I don't know if he's going to even be able to make that and making the right decision, but he's given Trick Williams way too much time to recuperate is the problem here. So we'll see if we look back in this matchup and really see if that part costs him, and that jumping strike to the face, that honestly could stun lock him. That could be enough. No, Femi with a strong kick out. Femi's just a whole different ball game, but he's struggled against kind of lucha libre type superstars. And dealing with a man like Javion Evans that is bouncy, just like a lucha libre superstar. I mean, certainly it's it's something that people over the years have watched the giants going against the smaller superstars, the lucha libre superstars, the guys that that, you know, you'd say it's like a David versus Goliath is a double-handed choke slam. Is that enough? 2, 3, and takes down Trick Williams as Omos and Femi pick up the win. And I think with the addition of Omos joining Femi and having this group, this alliance, I don't know if they necessarily have a team name whatsoever, but certainly they have worked well together. Omos has done wonders for Femi, and certainly with Omos at his side, you might believe that, you know, will we ever see a new NXT North American champion, to be honest with you? As we continue to go through these replays, a lot of back and forth in this matchup, but ultimately there's only one big time maneuver eventually that we'll get to here. But look at this maneuver right here, this Hurricane Rana into a power bomb the size of Femi to do that to him. Femi right here with the pump up power bomb ends up putting down Trick Williams. At that time was not enough, leading into later in the final moments, Omos with a two-handed choke slam takes down Trick Williams for the 1, 2, 3, and a big win for Omos and Femi. Can't wait to see how that matchup fares though between Femi and Javion Evans for the North American Championship. It is main event time here in NXT, ladies and gentlemen, as it will be a triple threat tornado tag team matchup. As you can see there, Austin Theory and his tag team partner Grayson Waller look to have another opportunity at the Hardy Boyz, as it will be Grayson Waller and Austin Theory taking on Fraxiom as well as the D'Angelo family. Big opportunity, because obviously when the Hardy Boyz came back, they took on Theory and Waller, and it was a one-sided matchup. Theory and Waller said, hey, they weren't prepared. They weren't expecting to have a new tag team. They weren't expecting the Hardy Boyz to make their return here to NXT. Big excuse for them, but we won't talk about that. But hey, could you imagine this team right here, A-Town Down Under, getting an opportunity, taking on the Hardy Boyz to become the tag team champions, and hey, maybe Waller and Theory get their opportunity and become the tag team champions. But certainly, the D'Angelo family and Fraxiom have something to say about it, surely. And they're lucky Legado del Fantasma and LWO are dealing with each other, or they could have very well been into this tag team matchup. As now here comes Axiom. Let's see if they're going to come out here separately, possibly. But big time opportunity. Two of the fastest guys, not only on NXT, but certainly you could say on Raw and SmackDown as well. You get their opportunities. They've had a couple opportunities here and there here in NXT, but hey, coming together, starting to get in a groove. Management has seen that here in NXT. Adam Pierce has seen that. And he's really looking to see how Axiom and Nathan Frazier continue to work together. And hey, tonight, win this matchup. Go on to NXT Roadblock. Defeat one of the best tag teams of all time, that being the Hardy Boyz. I mean, that's what better way could you do it? Earning it in a triple threat matchup, beating one of the best tag teams of all time. I couldn't name, I mean, probably maybe a couple of other opportunities, but here and there, but certainly that's pretty good, I would say. As now here comes the tag team partner of Axiom, the ever dangerous, the fast, Speedy Gonzalez, Nathan Frazier. Man that was trained by Seth frickin' Rollins and Rollins' compound of the Black and Brave Academy, I believe is what it's called. And certainly having Nathan Frazier learn from one of the great Seth Rollins, I mean, it's a great thing to see. You know, we'll see more people join WWE that have been trained by fellow superstars and dungeons and academies and all this other stuff. It's awesome to see. You can already see with the entrance of Nathan Frazier. He's balls to the wall, ladies and gentlemen. He is 100 miles an hour a second every single time. So that could be also a detriment, or it can also be used to his advantage. As now here comes Tony D'Angelo and Stacks. You got the Don of NXT, as well as Stacks being the right-hand man, essentially, for Tony D'Angelo. Help running operations to make sure it's running smoothly. And the family very well could do it. We'll see how it's going to fare, man. I mean, it's anyone's ballgame. It's a triple threat matchup. It's not your typical tag team matchup. This matchup is going to be all over the place. You're going to see all sorts of different situations going down. You could see tables, ladders, chairs, steel chairs, kendo sticks. Anything can be used in this matchup as long as we get that pinfall or submission in the middle of that very ring. And certainly they're not all the same tag teams either in terms of what they bring to the table. You got some fast, you got some slow, and you got actual tag teams. So, I mean, you get a little bit of everything in this match. Referee has officially started the match. We'd like to thank Adrian Butler, I believe is what his name is. Thank you to our NXT referee for starting the match. A little bit of a roll-up. D'Angelo trying to get out of here quickly. And obviously these men want to be close to 100% as possible, because the Hardy Boyz will be 100% for that Tag Team Championship matchup. But doesn't mean that the Hardy Boyz still may lose that matchup. This matchup may be hard to call at times. We'll try to do our best. Is that roll-through super kick? That is definitely vintage Seth Rollins there. Definitely learned to move there from Seth Rollins. Did Nathan Frazier. As someone got stomped out there. I believe we might be seeing something from Axiom's mask there of sorts. I don't know if it may have ripped open the mask as well. As Theory with a nice side slam. Big pinfall opportunity coming our way, but nope, not enough. Now, Grayson Waller just pounding the head of Mr. D'Angelo, working the big strike to that lower back. And now Frazier, big elbow right to the midsection. Stacks trying to work on anyone and everybody, trying to stay active in this matchup. He has Axiom, now he's working on Frazier on the mat here. Now D'Angelo working on Grayson Waller. Waller in Theory still trying to figure out what they can do here in the series. Certainly Theory, former United States champion, former Raw Tag Team champion back in the day. Trying to figure out what him and Waller are going to do. Trying to become tag team champions. Have not been able to figure out just yet. But there's plenty of time and plenty of potential. As a nice swinging suplex in the air, almost like a silencer type of maneuver there. As now Axiom looking for a submission hold here. Gonna try to make Austin Theory tap out. Kendo stick involved here. This is not gonna end good for somebody. Well, maybe it will end good. These didn't work out in the favor for Stacks, but it worked quite well for Grayson Waller. As the sledgehammer right to the ribs. The Don going to work here against Mr. Nathan Frazier. And now Theory wants to join in on the fun. He's gonna go old-fashioned kendo stick. He's aiming for Tony. This is personal, it seems. He could have easily gone after Frazier, decided not to. As now Frazier with what a maneuver there. Big time takedown there. Almost like a falcon arrow of sorts. Referee getting accidentally involved there. Not his fault. His nice maneuver there from D'Angelo, throwing Axiom right on that kendo stick. We got ourselves 2 kendo sticks, and certainly maybe they're going to be used at a great time here. Certainly, if you're able to hit your finisher right there on a kendo stick, or just the simplest drop kick, certainly will do just fine. Now we have Stacks and Tony in the same ring at the same time here, looking to go to work as Tony, high risk, high reward here. But luckily for him, being smart, as Grayson Waller with a big reversal, looking to take it to Stacks here. This is an opening for either Stacks or Grayson Waller. Middle of the ring is a pinfall opportunity. Ooh, very close. Just a 1 count though. D'Angelo trying to be there for his tag team partner. Now you've got yourselves a 2-on-1 situation in the middle of the ring brewing here. He's just got to be very careful. Oh, and now, if I'm Stacks, I don't have to go out there. I stay in the ring, guard D'Angelo, and let him go to work here. But now you're giving yourselves a 2-on-1 situation for A-Town Down Under. Theory, though, not breaking up his tag team partner submission hold here. That's very interesting. I mean, certainly you don't want to watch your tag team partner possibly submit there in that situation. But hey, I'm not a wrestler. I'm just a commentator. But certainly you notice some things that certainly over the years as, oh, nice flatliner. Attaboy, roll through flatliner. But Frazier rolling out of the ring, and just like that is a whole different ball game. If Nathan Frazier ends up staying down there, Waller's able to go for the pin, and maybe is A-Town Down Under going to, obviously, NXT Roadblock. Waller getting attacked from both sides here, and uh-oh. I think that is that Stacks that got busted open over there? I can't really tell from that angle, but certainly looks like all chaos, all hell breaking loose, really trying to decide who is going to be the next tag team. As a nice Canadian destroyer there from Fraxiom. And it's all about that blood, sweat, and tears to represent this tag team division and face off with one of the best tag teams of all time, the Hardy Boyz, to become the NXT Tag Team Champions. All these tag teams would love to battle the Hardy Boyz, especially at NXT Roadblock. It'd be one hell of a matchup for any of these tag teams. As Theory and Waller, oh, look at Theory, ooh, able to slip out of that and connect with a clothesline of sorts. And now Frazier with a drop kick takes down Stacks. This is absolute madness going on here. As Frazier taking out an opportunity, Fraxiom trying to be all fired up. D'Angelo talking some trash there briefly when he was on his knee. You know, this is the type of matchup you love to see, putting it all on the line. As now you got Waller, you got Stacks, you got D'Angelo, you got Frazier. All sorts of goodness going on. As uh-oh, is this going to be enough? 2. Uh-oh, did he get 2-2? No, referee just saying it was 2-1. Stacks now going to go for the pinfall on Waller. Theory is right there, and this time is able to break it up. Back and forth we go, ladies and gentlemen. Who is going to walk out the winner tonight and face the Hardy Boyz for the NXT Tag Team Championships? As uh-oh, Theory looking for some A-Town Down Under. D'Angelo's busted open. Theory trying to take it out on everybody here. And now Waller, oh my goodness, almost like a version of a Numb Prettier there. Waller now gonna look to pick up a victory here, pinfall. No one realizes it, but Fraxiom does at the last second. What a matchup. Is now Fraxiom. The big drop kick didn't work out in his favor though. It's Frazier going to town over here. Oh, against Theory, but Theory with that pump kick right to the face of Nathan Frazier, and now going to continue the onslaught and throw him right against that steel pole. And Waller hitting that flatliner of sorts, and now D'Angelo going to go for the pinfall. Waller right there breaking it up. And now you got Theory and Waller. This is the opportunity. You have both men in the ring. You could either take out Fraxiom. Oh, it looks like, okay, Axiom's rolling out now. Now you have Tony D'Angelo pin Tony, and you walk out victorious. Simple as that. But now Stacks gets himself back in the ring, and now that could turn into a detriment as a stunner from Waller. Big time stunner, but he doesn't realize Stacks is right there. And now Stacks, oh goodness, Stacks looks like maybe not realizing Fraxiom comes in, but steel sledge hammer right to the right to the body. And now Stacks looking for a big time elbow right to the chest. Is the family going on? 1, 2. No, Fraxiom kicks out the very last second. Big thank you to Fraxiom. The rest of the tag teams are saying thank you because, wow, that was a hellacious maneuver there. And now you got Theory taking out Axiom in the middle of the ring here. Let's see what Theory can do here. Uh-oh, Austin Theory has him up. Oh, big power bomb, nothing fancy, just absolute brutality. And now Theory, good old sledgehammer shot, trying to decide what he wants to do, not playing around. D'Angelo, flying axe handle. Theory now, he's won multiple matches with this, right on the sledgehammer. Stacks made a mistake. Will it cost him? Yes, it does. And Grayson Waller with a low blow to Stacks. Oh my goodness, what a sequence at the end, ladies and gentlemen. All Out War. And now A-Town Down Under are challenging for the NXT Tag Team Championships. Can they make up for the loss that they had to the Hardy Boyz number of weeks ago? Can't wait to see how this is all going to turn out, ladies and gentlemen. A massive, massive matchup. The Hardy Boyz, A-Town Down Under for the NXT Tag Team Championships. We'll see if we can get ourselves a final view here of the final moments of this matchup. Big elbow there. Stacks thought that was going to be enough. It was not. We don't get the final replay, but we all saw what just happened. Grayson Waller, Austin Theory going on NXT Roadblock. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. It's been one hell of a night, and I cannot wait to get to NXT Roadblock. Thank you guys so much again, and we'll see you down the road.